Ever dream of constructing your own tropical island? Far Cry Instinct's map editor lets you build your perfect paradise and turn it into a raging battlefield.
I want to make this video as quickly as possible, so I'm going to try and speak quickly as possible because I want to say a lot of things and condense it as much as possible. So right now I'm wasting time. Anyway, when I was a kid, the first console I had was an Xbox, and I never owned Halo 1 or 2, so that meant that from the beginning I was really kind of behind on what was popular in the mainstream for video games. And I was restricted to whatever games my older brother bought for the Xbox, because it was his, and I didn't really have money at the time, so I didn't really ever buy games, so it was all him. And he bought a game called Far Cry Instincts that was on the Xbox, and that game was it was a first-person shooter, and you could play split-screen multiplayer and Xbox Live multiplayer, and it was really, really special to me because it had a map editor in it. It had a way of making levels that you could play with your friends, whether it be online or split screen. And it was extremely fun to make these levels and have your friends play each other on them. And yeah, it was just very, very cool and fun to have that, because no other games have that. Well, some games do, like I'm talking consoles here, because obviously a lot of first-person shooters have like map editing tools on computers. Or on the computer. I mean, they're very complicated though. So having an intuitive map design tool for consoles was really, really neat. And other than that, I think a game called Pariah had a map editor, which was a really shitty game, and it was useless because it was a shitty game. Time Splitters had a map editor, and as far as I know, that might be it. But anyway, the point, Far Cry had the best one. It had the coolest map editor, and it was just super duper duper fun to play with friends on that. And then Far Cry Instinct's Predator was a sequel to that game that came out on the 360, and it had improved the map editor, and the online was, it had a much bigger online community. So at that point, it opened up so many more possibilities for having a community to create these levels that everybody could play with each other, and it was really exciting. But what was super duper exciting in the Far Cry series was when Far Cry 2 came out. That game had a map editor that absolutely blew the other map editors out of the water from previous entries in the series. Like, there were no limitations to what you... Well, there were some, but there were few limitations to what you could do with the map editor. There were so many options and abilities and tools, and it was really very intuitive, and once you got used to it, you could be really, really fluent with using the tools that were in the map editor. And I guess I'll show you some of the maps I made, but I made so many maps. I spent literally more time playing Far Cry 2's map editor than any other game I'd ever played. I made so many maps, dozens and dozens of maps on which I spent hundreds of hours in total, and I can't show you all of them. I would love to be able to show them off, but I, for some stupid reason, had them deleted, and I can't. They're nowhere to be found. So I had to re-download the few ones that I had posted on the Ubisoft map editor community thing. So when because Far Cry 2 had this thing where everybody could post their maps on, and everybody could download them and rate them and share them and whatnot, and it was really cool. Now Far Cry 3 just came out, and it has an even better map editor, and the game itself is better than Far Cry 2, and it's just really, really exciting because they could have the potential to have a really, really awesome community, and they have new ways of sharing these maps and distributing them that really gives me high hopes, because I love making maps. I've spent so much time doing it, and it's one of my favorite things to do in any game, and Far Cry 3 is just awesome. And not only that, like, Far Cry 3 is just, not only because it has a map editor, it's just a really, really great game. I mean, if you look at the Metacritic rating, I think it's higher than Halo 4 and definitely higher than Black Ops 2. It's a shoo-in for Game of the Year this year, and it's got this really, really powerful, awesome map-creating tool. So that just makes me really, really excited, because most video games don't allow you to creatively express anything, really. I mean, as for creation tools, they have, like, character creation, maybe, car, you know, editing, whatever, but those aren't really that interesting. They don't provide you with like a canvas for which you can use to build crazy cool stuff. Map editors do that. Map editors have that, and it's just really, they're really, really special to me. That's why Far Cry is such a special series. And so Far Cry 3 is out, and I made all these maps for Far Cry 2, but the problem was that most of them never got played by anybody. And that's the thing, like, you make these beautiful things, well, at least special to you, creations, and you want other people to play them, because when you see people having fun on a map you made, there are a few more satisfying things in this world, oddly enough. Maybe that's just me, and I've got a really bizarre opinion, but No, I loved having people play my maps and have fun with them, and I love playing other people's maps and finding really neat, fun little creations because there are certain... Because like they're destined to be cooler than the maps that any game is shipped with, because most games that the developers, most maps that the developers make are generally kind of generic, and they have good design, but they're not really funny or wacky or really exceptionally cool. See, people who make maps that just as a hobby don't have any reason to not make like crazy, wacky, cool, fun maps like that, which is why I'm going back to the word excited, because I'm excited. I have such high hopes for Far Cry 3, and I'm hoping that I can get more people to play Far Cry 3 and to make maps and to share maps with one another. So right now, I finished my first map on Far Cry 3, and I'm just excited. I want people to play it. I want to play other people's maps. I want to get people together and regularly play each other's maps and just have fun doing it, because I used to do that in Far Cry 2 sometimes, and it was so fun. And Far Cry 3 is a better game, so it's destined to be even funner, and the map editor is better, so funner isn't a word. I don't care. I'm so excited, I'm saying words that don't exist. Not that funner is really that, crazy of a word, but... Okay, so my point is just, if anybody's interested in trying out making maps, if you haven't done it before on consoles, get Far Cry 3, try it out. You might love it more than any other game thing that you play. Like, there might be so much value in the map editor for you that alone will justify the purchase. So get it, make maps if you want, try it out, and play other people's maps. And my gamer tag is Luke123Dude, one word. It's a cool gamer tag. I don't care. Shut up. Don't say anything. And I'm looking for people who want to play my maps, who want to have their maps played. I want to get a group together of people who will play each other's maps and just have fun because it's cool fun. Okay, is that the end? I guess so. I can't think of anything else to say. All right, bye!